Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be coming back in just a moment for game two of this series. We're getting the players in the lobby right now and getting ready to get the chat bans and things going for you. But I want to take a moment and talk about one of the sponsors for this event, Cooler Master. I use a Cooler Master case. That's the all the components that are running this stream are in a Cooler Master case. We got the Cooler Master Elite that I use at home. We got a couple Cooler Master fans in here, a Cooler Master heatsink. They make a lot of really good products, and this website is basically the greatest thing on the planet because I don't like websites where I have to go through a bunch of tabs and a bunch of different search lists and other things like that. Everything here on Cooler Master's site is accessible from the front page. Go down here to the products section, you click that. Right here on the front, it gives you a little drop-down menu, and look at all this. It's all mouse overs. Everything here is mouse overs. It's absolutely awesome. You can see everything, all the categories from here. Go through, click through the category that you want. Cooler Master, they do more than just cooling. Some people go, well, don't they just make heat sinks and stuff? Oh, no, man. These guys make cases. These guys make power supplies, keyboards, mice, headsets. Their keyboards are really nice as well. This is the one I use right here. The Quickfire XT by CM Storm. It's great. And I use switches you can't actually buy with it. When I got it originally, it had blue switches. But I paid money to change all my blue switches to black ones because I love black ones so much. But I love this keyboard so much that I didn't care that it didn't come with black switches. It comes with blues, reds, greens, brown, different Cherry MX switches for you. And they have a bunch of different keyboard models as well. You like those backlit ones? The CM Storm Quickfire Ultimate here. It comes with different colored backlights for different colored switches, so you don't get stuck with just the red. You can pick between, a red backlight, blue, white, different colors if you want that extra thematic thing for you. And hey man, you want to get a mouse with that too? Well, guess what? You can get the Devastator Gaming Bundle. It comes with a keyboard and mouse. Guys, Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving, you can get people presents for Thanksgiving. That's totally allowed. New Year's, birthdays, whatever. You want to get some new gaming hardware. Cooler Master is definitely one of the places you should check out for that. Go to coolermaster-usa.com and do yourself a little window shopping. Write on a post-it note. Slip it in front of your parents, wife, roommate, whomever, and see about getting some nice, awesome new hardware. Now let me check to see if the players are ready. It looks like they are.
Yeah, we got all 10. No bans yet, though.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into the chat bans in just a moment. This is game 2 of this best of 3 series between Rude Lords and Bought Fancy's Mama PS3. Looks like Lulu and Kassadin up first.
Not really a surprise that a Parker spans out Lulu. Because if they weren't going to do it, somebody else would have.
Exactly.
Mad Supportal. One day I will see your Lulu rise again. But it's hard to argue with the 100% win rate.
Yeah. Here's a really fun fact. Zamike asked me to find out what Lulu's win rate as a champion was, regardless of who was playing it. It's below 50.
I would have said below 60, but higher than 50. But it's actually less than... Now, is that just going off LoL King and stuff?
That's for competitive records. So I went through all of the post-game screenshots.
Competitive what?
All the competitive Dominion.
Okay.
So
then I would have definitely said less than 50.
Yeah. Let me copy-paste this here.
So Lulu, Kassadin, Urgot, Nidalee are going to be the first 4 up, and the next 6 to come.
Yeah,
as a champion, Lulu should have something like between a 50 and 60% on Rift, but... I mean, there's only so many good people that can play support.
What were the chat bans? I missed them in the copy paste. Just the chat moved. Sorry.
Lulu, Kassadin, Urgot, Nidalee.
There we go. Got them on the front page for you. Yeah, there's only a couple players that have a win rate with Lulu. She doesn't get used that much outside of the top players. I think it's Zamike, Alia, Infeed have the winning records with
Lulu. Overall is 47%, so I guess you actually maintain that here.
Yeah, and she spiked as low as 36%, and she spiked as high as I think like 51 or 52, low 50s.
Ouch.
But she spiked as low as mid 30s for win rate in Dominion competition.
Yeah, that was a little low.
Lulu has a good kit, but you have to have a really good player behind her in order to be able to use her effectively.
You have to realize what kind of plays you can make and when to apply certain pressures. It's not just gung-ho. In ARAM, if you get a Lulu, I've seen like attack damage Lulus with your Blade of the Ruin King and stuff, but you can't have that kind of mentality to play those kind of champions here.
Yep. So that's Lulu's a little bit more difficult to play than advertised. I mean, she's a really powerful pick at competitive level, but don't be too frightened if you just see a random Lulu in a game. There's some mastery that you need to have to bring her to her crazy win rate. If you take away Zamike, the win rate gets worse for Lulu because he has so many games won with her that if you add him to the statistics, her win rate jumps up by a lot. It's pretty funny. I have 3 different stats. I have Lulu's win rate. Overall, I have Lulu win rate without Zamike, and then I have Lulu win rate only Zamike.
Very different win rates, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so Lulu, Kassadin, Urgot, Nidalee were those bans. So far, Kayle, Kha'Zix, Teemo, very similar bans to last game. In fact, I think 100% identical. Looking back at last game, yeah, Pantheon, Wukong, 100% there. All we need is an Urgot ban. Now, we already got an Urgot ban. All we need is a Janna ban. And it's going to be Zyra instead.
Zyra is... Man, why doesn't Zyra eat more bans? Look, you can kill a Jace. You can't get to a Zyra a lot of times. And Zound's going to snatch up that Janna. Yeah. Gotta first pick that away from Supportal because he will run the show.
And again, it feels very much like, you know, Supportal gets banned out and then picked out because they haven't had first pick. Okay, that's a lie. They had first pick last time, but they had to go for the Jace. Jace made a lot more sense. So what can Supportal do? He doesn't have the Teemo, doesn't have the Lulu, no Janna. That leaves him open with a Sona, or he could pick up somebody a bit more tankier for his team that has, you know, really nothing to do with his name. I'm curious to see if he will keep that Maokai or not.
Mao? I'll probably switch him out to something else. I don't think I've seen him play Mao. I pulled him in a game once when he was playing Darius. I was really confused.
Must have been really banned out then.
This was in a blind pick, and I was queuing up with Gormer, and I pulled Zamike on Darius and High Peoples on Pantheon. And me and Gormer run like Zin J4. And that game was like, what? That's a Darius. What are you doing? He's like, I don't know, I wanted to chop things with an axe. And I'm
That does bring up a point.
Good reason.
We don't have a Jace first pick, and we don't have a Jace ban again.
Ooh, Talith. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked that up.
It's funny,
then.
all yesterday, 6 games, Jace bans. Today,
Ooh.
Jace picks 100%. Now, if he solidifies that into this, then, yeah, it'll maintain on Jace 100%.
Buddha Rice, the original Vayne player. He was the one that played Vayne the most and was terrified at her. There's a couple other...
has Vayne, right? Under his belt?
Yeah, BB does Vayne as well. I forget who else does. But...
You've been chastised already for BB Pop.
It's Bebe.
That's what I'm told.
It's Bebe, that's right. It's Bebe and Dinoob.
It's a French Bebe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bebe.
Well, thank your girlfriend. Or maybe that's a bad example.
Yeah, we had French
Shots
commentators.
fired.
We had French commentators on Day of Dominion. I want to get them to do a couple more games sometime.
I've listened to some French commentators, but I mean, being a Canadian, I took a lot of French in my youth. Unfortunately, I don't really keep up with it. So I caught I got the gist of what they were talking about. But anytime there's an Ash arrow, it's just they stop dead. They're like Korean commentators like that. And they're like La Flèche, and, like they throw their hands up in the air and they're dancing around La Flèche, because that when you translate that means that arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. It's just that.
Hey man, they get really
Oh, I
hyped.
took away from it.
We need to get more hype with our NA casters, man. Koreans have always had us beat. We have to have a caster competition.
English, it just doesn't work.
I know. Our language is so choppy.
Korean is very, roll off the tongue, very fluid. French, a bit more fluid in that degree. English is just like the ugly stepchild of languages.
Yep.
Like our screamo is like heavy rock, and nobody wants to listen to that for 40 minutes a game.
Oh man.
Right? Well,
Yeah.
okay, some people would, I guess, but
Dinov's-
you bring up Darius. There he is again.
There we go. Dinov's never gonna actually play Vigor. Talith could play Veigar. We saw Talith play Veigar in a tournament, in last week's tournament when Amputees took second to Clueless. Talith PA ran Veigar in Monster Mode, the game run, the microwave oven strat. It was pretty good. Box him in with J4, drop a Dark Matter on him, blow up their AP carry.
Annie and a repeat Syndra. All right. Taric? Oh, man.
Ooh, we haven't seen one of those in a while.
But so this is, again, another set of firsts for us. We never saw Vayne yesterday. We never saw Varus, and we never saw Darius. Today's Syndra, I think we had one Syndra yesterday.
Look, if anyone can play Trin, it's Sauron, but he's probably not going to do it considering they already have a Darius, and Trin bottom is mediocrity.
Dunk squad. Well, maybe not dunk. Maybe that's the wrong word. But collapse? No, it's just going to be Malzahar.
So we're going to see Parkhurst on Malz, maybe?
Alright, so they're going to swap around a bit. Mad's the portal right now on Brand. But Darius, Talith, that makes a lot of sense. He really does like his assassins. And there is no repeat Jace. Our first time today. No Jace pick, no Jace ban.
With Talith on Darius, Darius was a juggernaut when he was first released. He was really powerful, ate a lot of bans, was picked very often. And Talith was one of the guys who played him a lot at the time. So it'd be nice to see Talith on Darius again. Varus is a character we don't see very often. Varus's delay is very good. He's a good AD carry. He has his snare's nice. It's just mostly he can hit multiple targets, interrupt multiple targets. Very good delay on points. You can catch him and kill him though. That's the problem with him.
So Janna and Vayne. I almost called them Jane. The Jane combo.
Hey, it's Jane.
So, you know, Vayne has tumbles, has a passive where she gains movement speed if she's chasing you, and Janna has a passive of the entire map where you gain more move speed. That could be really tricky.
Now let's talk about this.
Which is what?
There's a flash? You can't see it because the overlay. I was like trying to mouse over it and have the text box appear all dramatically, but it gets eaten by the overlay, so you only see like part of it.
Yeah.
Man, that just ruins everything. Okay, well, hey, there's a couple flashes. Flashes, their use in Dominion.
Vanna.
Vanna. I like that. I like that one better.
I thought Jane was pretty good.
Yeah, I like Vanna.
Right. There's
if you revive is the best spell. And then after that, if you want to be winning team fights, you load your team up with exhausts and an ignite or two. You don't want to commit too much to the ignites because you really need the exhaust to limit melee AD or ranged AD damage output. And if you want to defend points or you want to attack onto a point specifically, then you take Garrison. If you are playing a character that does not have a built-in escape and is really important, usually ranged AD that don't have an escape like Varus, Ashe, Misfortune, is usually where we see flashes. In this case, though, it's kind of interesting to see them on Darius and Annie. However, Darius doesn't really have an escape, so if he gets into a bad situation, oops. However, this also gives him the ability to flash apprehend, which is a pretty devastating combo at times because, you know, Darius, very short range, that's what defeats him. You just walk away Darius to death. What's he going to do?
Flash, apprehend, Space Jam music, in that order.
I'm thinking about how I could cue that up.
No. Good luck doing that. You need a production crew for that.
No, I just need a YouTube video pause at the right timestamp.
Yeah, but then you got to alt-tab, and then you got to predict. No, it's too much for it. Carnival with Flash, Annie, Tibbers. That's a very common thing in Summoner's Rift. And here it could be the exact same application. You need to cover that distance. You got a stun ready to go. Very important in a team fight. Flash, stun, Tibbers, win.
And look at everything else. Everything else seems pretty ordinary. The Vanna combination with the toaster oven. Man, let's make League of Legends more complicated. We already have like names for items and stuff and abbreviations you have to remember, and there's all these champion abilities. Let's just start having.
What DFT was until today.
Yeah. Let's just start having unnecessarily complicated champion combo names. Dispute, you know, which is better toaster to run. Yeah, how well does Vanna work with the toaster oven comp?
Yeah.
That way, people that randomly overhear it are just even more lost. They're like, what are you even talking about? It's just League of Legends. They're like, I play League of Legends and I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's elitism at work right there.
Yeah. It's like the
You
Destiny
don't know
Cloud
what
Fist
a
build.
BFG is? Get out of my face, dude.
Oh, man. You've never heard of the microwave oven comp? Like, what are you even talking about, sir?
Yeah. A lot of people get really confused about what a chat ban is, so I would just take the word chat out of bans
Extra
for your overlay
bans?
next game. And just call them bans or plus bans.
I'm going to do that
The
now
plus
because
symbol.
I'll forget.
I think that would be a lot less confusion, a lot less work for my local dude in
Extra
in
bans.
chat. They're essentially just extra bans, guys.
Yeah. There we go. I changed it. Such happy. Many
Such
success.
skill. Yep.
All
All right.
All
You got your button ready?
Yeah, I'm already on the right scene for it. This is gonna be game 2 of a best of 3 series. It's gonna be against, it will be Fancy's mom, a PS3, versus Rude Lords. Fancy's mom, a PS3's team consisting of Zounds playing as Jarvan IV, Buddha Rice playing as Vayne, Carnival playing as Annie, Alaric Ventress playing as Janna, and Dynov playing as Syndra on the other team. We have Rude Lords, Emperor High Peoples rather, playing as Varus, Mad Supportal, playing as Brand, Parkhurst playing as Maokai, Talith PA playing as Darius, and Sauron playing as Malzahar. I am one half of your commentators. I am Gandair, and casting with me is...
The FourCourtJester. The DD alum. I figured that's the best way to describe me. I'm not a DD regular. I'm a DD alum.
He graduated.
And I come back on special occasions to donate money.
Oh, man.
Or in this case, time and casting.
Yeah, well, time is money, you know. It's basically the same thing.
Have you seen the Girls is the Root of All Evil using the time money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that printed out once.
Jester's the root of all evil, time, money, etc.
Yep.
All right, so once again, we have a Parkhurst running with the Clairvoyance and the 10 Revive. Pretty simple stuff. So again, it's only the one game that we've had casted where we haven't had a Clairvoyance. But Clairvoyance early sees all the items, but at this point in the game, it's pretty cash money that the players can just assume Prospector items, boots, potions.
Yeah, that's a really safe way to open with most characters. We're seeing a Mao Catalyst first. Mao's a pretty slow character. He's not getting there first anyway, even with Boots 1. Just open with that Catalyst. Completely fine. Gives him that, especially on a tank, because it's going to give you that extra health and mana when you hit 4 up at the top, so you can take a little bit extra damage. It's good times.
Apparently I'm a little low on volume. It's the first I've heard of it in 2-3 games. So
We'll tap it
I
up.
don't know, I could just talk louder. It's fine.
No, I'll tap it up just slightly in next split, like a half a bar.
Half a bar.
Yeah, if they say a little bit, I'll go up by a little bit.
All right, so last time we had the big rush up here, Talith on the Jace was able to land a lot of extra damage really early on because he was able to use the Clairvoyance that he had, and he was able to land the Hyper Shot. So this time it's the Varus arrow that actually lands on top of Alaric. So either way, a little bit of an advantage going the way in terms of their hit points, and a little bit of a poke war will go on for a bit.
And Varus, he brings poke by the shovelful with that piercing arrow. Is a very useful ability.
Lots of range, lots of poke. That's why you see things like Ezreal's. That's why you see things like Janna's and Zyra's, because they have a so big amount of range. And because of that, they can try to zone.
And fight breaking out up at the top. Talith PA is going to be the first one to be sent back to Summoner Platform. Hits his revive immediately. Zounds burns down due to Brand's damage. And then we got a little 3v3 going on up here. Buddha Rice goes in for Brand, and Brand manages to revive before the headstone even pops out of his grave, man. He's determined to get back. That the snare on Carnival, and High People's apprehend on Buddha Rice. Buddha Rice, is he going to go down, or is he going to make it out? There's the Zephyr on Talith as well, and that Flash Devastate.
And now he's just going to go the other way. That's going to drag Carnival away from the fight, which probably is the bad idea because Zounds is just getting it pretty much in his face. Talith is there to pick it up. Man, Talith living the life right there. But we do got the revive coming out from Buddha Rice. Zounds has already used his, so he's out of the picture. And that means the top point once again going the way of the Rude Lords.
In that top fight, we saw a flash and then a second flash. Flash isn't something that's run commonly in Dominion, so usually when you see it, it's like, wait, what? They left? You gotta remember that they have that. And secondly, there's usually not another flash hanging around to counter it, so that was kind of interesting to see. Something that doesn't typically happen is a flash followed by flash.
So we got 3 revives each left on each other's teams. The bottom has been fairly tame. Now actually went back home. He did start off with the Chalice. Now he has a Fiendish Codex. But it's going to go straight into the pen boots for Sauron. Either way, they're basically just meeting in the middle, and it's up to Fancy's mom here to kind of figure out where to strike next.
And oh man, people's cleaning up with that piercing arrow, taking a whole bunch of money off of those creeps there.
Cataclysm
and
on
Supportal
Supportal.
boxed in by the Cataclysm.
Yeah,
He's gonna be able to get away.
Not entirely too sure what kind of follow-up was supposed to happen there, but maybe a little bit of missed opportunity from Zounds. That means his Cataclysm is down. It's going to be hard to fight under that tower with a Maokai.
This is the Clairvoyance as well. A little bit more defensively oriented, is going to chase them away.
Sauron bottom just holding down the fort. It's a slight push going up against him. Now with the Syndra. I mean, has some pretty insane creep wave clear. So Sauron just has to deal with that. His early game is going to be a bit shaky, but you know, come up mid, come late, he's going to be quite the force. Janna's down there now as well.
Looks like Janna is looking for the gank. Dynov opens up with the ultimate, not quite enough damage, but out in the vision, Sauron knows Alarc Ventress is there.
Oh, Parkhurst, he got left to his own devices. He's going to drop under that tower. Vengeful Maelstrom could not help him there. Talith with the up and down. That's dunk number 1. He's going to have a little bit of a time limit. Looks for the second, grabs it on top of Annie. And that is going to be it for Tibbers. Is he going to come back in for the third?
And ooh, that Condemn's going to keep Buddha Rice away. Could be a piercing arrow away from Disaster. Oh, he didn't manage to dodge it.
Consumed the Blight as well. It was pretty much a dead easy kill as long as that arrow was able to hit. But look at this bottom. 3-man pressure up against Alaric. We don't got Syndra. She still has that revive, but she's back in town.
And J4 on his way down to the bottom point. Can't get there to interrupt the neutral, but can keep it from turning over to their control. 3v3 down here over this neutral point. Everyone in retreat. The Howling Gale does not tag anyone.
So we got 4 kills for Talith PA so far on that Darius. I mean, he's gotten 2 of those with the ult, 2 actually, I think, in the early game because he did not go down to that early Annie damage. But Sauron's going to eat a little bit of damage here from now. Not entirely too sure that's kill range, but here comes Vayne, puts him right back to Dino. Doesn't have the balls ready to throw in his face, though.
Nope. Not quite enough to finish that off. But a Parkhurst looks like he's going to get the bad news instead.
Pressure.
Oh, that Cataclysm! Boxing them away from the team to let them set up so that Talith can't just
get him.
That's twice now someone's escaped with barely any hit points.
Oh, Talith needed just a little bit more damage from Rice or some kind of ignite.
And on Brand as well. That's 3 champions in a row escaping with basically no hit points. They're going to pick up the quest objective down the bottom. A little bit of extra Nexus health damage against the enemy team.
Yep, 450 to 366. Now, this early game has gone the way of the Rude Lords again, but as we saw last game, a 6-0 ending. It could still be in the cards. Just not for Buddha, though.
Oh, yeah, that suppress was... well, he couldn't handle that.
That was the death sentence, yeah.
And there is the dunk from Darius.
You got that Space Jam music?
No, I didn't get a chance to get set up.
Yeah.
Loading spree wasn't fast enough.
Carnival gets exhausted. That means Tibbers is not going to be a kill on top of Peoples, but Zound's there, and he's able to solidify that, and nobody's up here. I mean, we put so many people from Fancy's mom into the bottom that just kind of drew more and more defense, and now the 2-on-1 top, that's going to be the cap.
And Supportal being chased away. Tibbers gives vision.
Yeah, you say that every time.
It's a really important thing. I don't see enough Annie players remote controlling their Tibbers and using it to bush check, or standing behind windmill and using him to stand on the windmill and interrupt cap so that Annie doesn't have to get herself in the way.
Yep, it's a good tactic.
That's why I repeat so much information about Tibbers, because, I mean, so much utilization that you can get out of Tibbers in this mode.
Zounds goes in. Parker's going to drop a little bit low. Still, the point is going to be firing away. Talith actually got, it looked like he was immobilized or just trying to get the cap, but takes the tower shot for his effort. Here comes Annie now. It's going to be the 4-on-4. Zounds goes in. That's the fire damage and the Cataclysm. So the microwave oven, the brick oven, whichever you want.
Toaster oven activated over on the enemy team. Now Peoples is going to go down. Talith, oh, they can't quite get to him. Unfortunately, looks like he is going to be able to escape. But that's how you do it. Put enemy team in oven, bake to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, remove from heat, cool as necessary. That's how the toaster oven comp works with Brand, Annie, and J4.
We got nothing to cool him off this time. We had a Sejuani for that before.
Yeah, they're just going to have to let him sit for a while.
And there's that Dominion elitism coming out from your casters again.
Oops.
Oops, yeah. 3 points still being held here by Fancy's mom, so they have that.
Oh dear!
Rain.
Alaric Ventress has been barbecued.
There's the clairvoyance as well. He's not getting out of that one. That could be pressure top, but Vayne's going to be there. You got Jarvan now with the storm buff as well. He's going to head on top. So it's going to be a heck of a defense, but they're taking their time. Maokai, can he get that? No. Very close.
Don't think so. Is stunned by Carnival. They don't have a lot of damage to follow it up. They're able to weaken him, but they can't quite kill him. Budarice is getting into a duel with Peoples, and you don't really want to duel Varus. Great Pyroclasm bounces up there.
Zounds is just doing work right now with that Jarvan. 3, 4, and 6. He's going to get this double just before he goes down. He's doing such a great job controlling as well as adding damage to the fights.
Carnival. Ooh, there's that defensive garrison coming from Janna up there. Gonna help it.
Go on Peoples. Peoples now Talith. Alaric might
be. Talith, nope. What have you done?
Because if we have a tornado, we can take that kill because of the tower shots, but the up and down, the Space Jam music, please.
Man.
Talith is now extended his kills up to 8 and 2. And look at his items. Not even any damage. He's just solely relying on that that ultimate. I mean, the true damage is coming out in spades, but he's going pure tank.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can stack that up, throw it down. Doesn't matter what they build against it. Except health. Health is good. It's like anti-true damage.
Oh, there's Golly in chat. Hi, Golly.
Oh, hey, what's up, Golly? Thanks for making that video. Played that on the stream earlier. Zounds able to escape by being Jarvan.
Yeah, no Varus arrow there, but storm buff from Brand just kind of ticking off the little bit electrocuted. Talith is going to avoid that. Golden Aegis comes out, but that's going to be the opportunity for Parkers. He gets condemned into the wall, and Vayne in the back. Vayne in the back. Vayne in the back.
Ooh. So Carnival used that Incinerate, but he was still charging a stun, so he didn't throw it away.
GG comes out from Syndra already.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Don't know.
Can't
Did he
quite
just
fit
kill
everything?
Sound? No, he didn't. I don't know. Either way,
Parkhurst is going to go down. So is Jarvan, and Annie being able to pick up that kill.
Oh, Vayne was so close to picking up that health relic. Doesn't quite get it. Carnival's now still... wow, he's quite fast, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he has the movement speed aura. That's the movements... Well, yeah.
He has a BFT.
But he has the shrine.
Yeah, he has a Blackfire Torch, and he has the Speed Shrine, and he has Janna's passive. So all of that stacking up.
And there she goes, finally down.
Alaric. Oh, dear.
Double. Nice double. Mad Supportal doing the defense. Now, you see the quest in that top. It just makes it ever more an important objective to defend in the windmill. And right now, 329 to 270 in terms of the Nexus health. We're getting a good lead here for the Rude Lords. And if they can maintain that lead and carry that through, it will be a 1-1.
And then they can tie it up, and we can get one of those mystical game 3s.
That'll be this will be our first game 3 if they maintain this lead. Now, obviously, we've seen some really fantastic stuff at low life. Late game really comes out to play with your comp sometimes. And 28-minute game last round. We're at the 12 here. So we got some cash under people's belts. We got some items now building. And you can see just like the safety net in and around the jungle right now from Rude Lords. They're looking for those advances, and they're trying to stop them way before the caps.
Alright, and middle of the map, Budarice, has that Storm Shield, but if he'd gotten that just a moment earlier, he would have preserved his actual health by having the Storm Shield eat it.
Talith is so tanky. We got a Rod of Ages on a Parkhurst, so he's also tanky with some magic resist, but he also does a little bit extra damage on top of that. And now it's going to be a little bit of a battle here on the point, because unfortunately it was neutraled out.
And Zound sticking his head out against the enemy team. Janna has the shield, and there's the Cataclysm boxing two of them in. Carnival with the flash up, fills it with fire, but he just doesn't quite deal enough damage.
Yeah, Talith is going to be in around. He's probably going to get out of this one, but Silverbolt proc at the end. He has quite a bit of armor on top of him, but I don't think that the Jarvan, the toaster oven, I don't think that worked out for them. I think that was actually detrimental to them.
Yeah, the combo went off great, but there's just not a lot of damage behind it yet. It is still relatively early in the game, however.
Pyroclasm went off. I'm looking at it. Parker's had his Vengeful up.
Yeah.
And
Annie landed
Talith
everything, has max Incinerate.
Yeah, Talith was using guillotines, but I don't know. I think just because they bunched up to get that toaster oven off, that allowed the Pyroclasm to do some massive damage, plus all the damage was reduced by the Vengeful.
And Sauron, oh dear, picking up the
play.
kill against Jarvan.
Is he actually going to get out of this one? No, I didn't think so.
It was close,
Parker's
though.
not going to get out of that either. Threw up the Clairvoyance before going down.
Oh,
That's gonna
dear.
allow Talith, no!
Oh, that Monsoon knockback. Monsoon's on cooldown now, but that looked really awesome.
That's why you take the Monsoon, though.
Yeah.
All about the distance displaces. The heal is fairly minimal since you don't get that much AP. I mean,
Yeah, I
we got
hardly
the,
ever see
we
it
got
channeled.
the PFTs, but like Janna in supports typically very tanky after that, so it's all about the knockbacks.
Dear, Varus charging it up. He fires
That's
most of the screen with that.
Well, that's why Janna's like a first pick. Now, Janna would be a great counter pick to the Toaster Oven. You get collapsed upon with a Cataclysm, bam. Monsoon, throw people out, and you'd be okay. But when you don't have that option, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Toaster oven with an eject button, spits it back out.
Yeah, it's a jet, but
This isn't done yet. Put it back in.
we're gonna have a whole new lingo by the end of this.
Oh
There's the
dear,
Cataclysm on top of
Peoples is
Varus.
captured. Cataclysm and Exhaust, but there's no damage to follow it up. All of that is going on just south of the fight. Talith PA duking it out with Carnival. Not quite enough damage. The bleed isn't going to take him out,
Sauron,
is it?
though.
Nope. Malzahar has that under control.
Peoples didn't go down? No.
No.
He totally didn't go down.
Zounds just isn't really dishing out the damage. He's built
No.
more to be tanky.
He's going halvesies. Well, 3/4.
Yeah.
He has the cooldown boots as well as the Prospector Blade, but other than that, it's all tank, yeah.
He's
Yeah, you
hanging
can
around being
rely on
like
passive,
3/4 or like 3/5 or like a 2/3, something like that, of a champion tank.
No, 10%, not 4%.
Sure, yeah, let's go with that. 10%.
Well, it's just like what Talith is doing, right? He's building a super tanky Darius and just relying on true damage. Buddha Rice here, I mean, he's going to take out Parker's, no problem. A lot of Silverbolt pickups there, so. Battle of true damage this game.
Uh-oh. Buddha Rice heading down towards the lower part of the map. High Peoples is going to neutral that tower while Dynov and Sauron have a little bit of a disagreement. And Dynov actually gets sent back to some of the platform.
Not even not even an assist for Emperor High People. Buddha gets hit by the Sauron suppress, and now it's just Zounds 2-on-1. I don't think he can actually defend that.
Well, Zounds has plenty of armor,
Yeah,
but
but Peoples is just unimpeded. He's a machine
Peoples
gun.
says, hey man, I know how to build a Last Whisper.
Yeah. Last Whisper is a very popular item on our damage dealers.
It's great. You just, like, you
Movement
buy it,
speed?
and then people die more.
Attack speed, armor penetration, cooldown reduction. What's not to love?
Yeah, man. Yomu's Last Whisper, good combo.
Alright, so 4 cap coming the way of the Rude Lords. Being very rude with their caps. 4-1. Come on, 3-2, man her up. But 300 Nexus life to 85. It's a very downhill game so far for the Fancy's mom.
Top part of the map, throwing down the Clairvoyance over the side.
Oh,
People's
Die
just
Now
gets
can't do it.
right in Janna's face.
Die now can't take on Sauron at all. At all. That was ult and everything. Couldn't do it.
Oh dear.
And as you said, I mean, top. Who just died top?
Janna?
Yeah.
Alar Adventures
she
came back with
revived.
the revive.
But it's not working anymore. Too many kills, too much money has gone the way of the Rude Lords. And Zounds, he gets in there, and then he's down.
And, you know, Carnival not going to get hit by that sapling. He's going to be okay. But with the 4 points under their control of that bottom, if they can't do anything about it, then that's just going to be game over.
All Supporto has to do back here is just make sure they don't cap. And surrender! Vote failed. Never mind.
Whoa, that would have been really funny.
That would have been our first surrender, but the vote failed. He got 35 points. That is going to be it for Buddha Rice. Unfortunate that Vayne just wasn't able to kind of make more of an impact. She's 8 and 9 and has a typical build that you'd see on Summoners Rift. Zounds. It's still going to die, but I'm a little surprised that Vayne couldn't make more of a difference.
Now, usually Vayne's run the show, but
Yeah,
I guess not this time around.
it's more Varus.
The toaster oven wasn't actually plugged in.
It has nothing to do with the toaster oven. And there we go, 300-0. Much more commanding game. 18 minutes as well. They finished 10 minutes quicker than they did in game number 1. And this is our first game 3 on stream. And it's kind of apt that it's in this very stacked game.
Yeah, we're going to a game 3 this time for this second semifinals.
All right, let's see. Graph, damage dealt to champions, very low numbers overall. Varus, 29.5. Not really that much of a surprise to see him there. But 29.5 in an 18-minute game, yeah.
That's all right. He was on track for 50. Time spent dead. Oh, man. Jarvan and Vayne out in front there.
Time spent dead. Is that deaths? No.
No, there's time spent dead. It's all the way at the bottom.
Oh, I can scroll this. Duh.
Yeah. That's cool.
But yeah. Jeez.
Hey, we're gonna go to a. We're gonna throw to a commercial real quick.
3 minutes.
We'll be back in just a moment with this game 3.